Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Ride. You're on the mothership inside the Black Woman Magic Room with the greatest podcast on earth, GPO, because Nikisha
Mhm.
won't say it. I
No, but you
am
say it so
one of your
well.
co I am one of your co-hosts, Crystal Tennille Irby, mother of four.
And I am Nikisha Killings, mother of 4 as well.
And we have a very exciting show today. I also got a new mic that everybody told me was so good, and I'm having issues, and I'm really not like, oh God, what is this? I'm turning that off. Okay. I feel like my mic will only go so high, and that's really bothering me. But okay, so anyway, everybody, those are technical issues.
You
Nikisha
sound
and I
amazing, friend. You sound amazing.
Nikisha and I are not feeling our lipstick choices today,
We're
but
not.
we're going to roll with it. We have a very, very exciting show. Our guest for today is Florida Representative Angie Nixon,
Whew.
who took to Nikisha was so excited when they reached out, who took to the House floor in Florida to protest the redistricting that's going on in Florida and just, across the country. She's fresh out. She is fresh out of jail
Listen, out
because
of lockup. Fresh out of lockup.
fresh out of lockup because she was arrested. We're recording this on a Thursday. She was arrested on Friday. When I saw it, I was like, is she going to be out in time for the podcast? But then she did a live and she was out. So she's fresh out. So we're going to talk to her today about Black political power and Black motherhood. So excited about this
Yes.
episode. And we're going to jump right into it. Um, our episode is going to go as usual. Church announcements, praise reports, prayer list requests, our mac and cheese with Angie Nixon, and we're going to close with Black Mama Say, which is I got time today, which Nikisha and I don't have a lot of time today, but
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
we have time today to talk about
Mm-hmm.
some things that Black Mama Say. But anyway, so I want to jump right into it because this episode, I don't have an ancestor quote. And the reason I don't have an ancestor quote is because the quote that kept ringing in my ears from Cheryl Eiffel, she said, leave no power on the table. And for me, that was a very timely, um, timely quote. And I couldn't find anything that kind of encapsulated what this conversation is going to be about. And I think in the past, we have left a lot of power on the table for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of reasons. But any power, we are in a predicament now where we cannot leave anything on the table. So that's not an ancestor quote. Cheryl Eiffel is alive and well.
It is
Did she
Cheryl
say that?
Eiffel. It
Cheryl
is. She
Eiffel,
did.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sister of renowned journalist the late Gwen Eiffel.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to be head of the NAACP Defense Fund, Legal Defense
That's
Fund. I
it.
don't know if she still is now, but I just thought
Former.
that's the
Mm-hmm.
perfect former, right? And so, I would, anytime we were able to have a guest on an elected official or someone who's running for office, I want to say this is our Leave No Power on the Table series. So if
Honey.
you are running for office, if you have a primary coming up and you care about Black motherhood, particularly if you are a Black mother running for office, reach out to us. Reach out to us. If y'all know people running for office, reach out to us. We can leave no power on the table. I think one of my regrets from 2024 is that I don't think I did enough shows on
Mm.
how vital that election was. And so I'm not going to take
Mm.
our platform for granted
All right.
this time. And we're going to do everything we can to amplify those that care about Black motherhood. Okay,
Let's get
so
it.
you move to our
Responsive reading.
responsive reading. Okay. You got a card number?
What am I feeling today?
How are you feeling today?
24.
24. 2 plus 4 is
6.
6. 6 is before 7. I know 7 is the number of completion. I like your earrings. Oh,
Thank
this is a
you.
good one, Akeisha. This is a good one.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
card number 6. There we go.
Ooh.
I allow motherhood to expand me. "Dear mama, you are not meant to do this alone. We just" this is so perfect. You do not have everything your children need. Let me repeat that. You do not.
Mm.
Contrary to popular belief, you do not have everything your children need. You need villages and community. Hire help or barter. Find a
Mm.
village, a community, and or a group of good friends that can support you and hold your feet to the fire of your wildest dreams. I'm going to hold on to this card. I'm going to ask her, like, what are some policies that can support mothers who feel like they have to do everything and who are doing it, feel like they're doing it alone? What are some
That's a great
policies
question. That's a
that
great question.
that can help support them? But I think again that's timely, like leave no power on the table, and we want to talk to people who care about Black motherhood. So I think that's the timely card. Thank you,
I'm gonna tell you,
ancestors.
6 is known as the mother or healer number. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. It speaks to unconditional love, harmony, nurturing, and balance.
You know, when we wrote these cards, we were not thinking about the numbers, and they
Mm-mm.
just seem to really fall in
Mm-hmm.
place. Because I do think that's a healing card for mothers. Like,
Yes.
if you're out here doing this alone, you're not the problem. Like, it's not supposed to be that way.
It's not. It's not.
And
Yep.
so if you think you're doing it wrong because it's not working out because you're doing it by yourself, and I'm not talking about being married or anything like that. I'm just talking about having a support system, having a village around you that you can lean on, that you
Community.
can talk to,
Yes.
community, right?
Absolutely. That
So
was a good
I
one.
think, yeah, I think that's the healing card. Okay, let's jump into church announcements, praise reports, and prayer list requests. Y'all support our other endeavors. We do a lot beyond this microphone. So
Girl.
support our other endeavors. We are really out here, um, girl, trying to save
Trying.
humanity, honestly.
We,
Like literally, like the work that we do, like I'm not just like making that up. That's not hyperbole. Like really, the work that we do, creating spaces for Black women, Black girls to be creative, to nurture them through birth and breastfeeding. Like we're really out here doing it. So please, y'all, support our other endeavors. I do have a praise report.
get it?
So in our newsletter, our collection plate cause was the nonprofit that I founded, Creators Well, which I help Black girls set themselves free through creativity. And it's for Black girls ages 12 to 21 in South Carolina interested in writing and performance. And I asked, I was just blunt, like, we need community. Like, our funding is being cut because our grantors, people are not donating to them. One of our grantors basically had to close their doors.
Mm.
Black Girl Freedom Fund, which is under Grant Makers for Girls of Color, they didn't close their doors, but their funding is very, very limited
We're all
because,
feeling the crunch. We're
right,
all
the
feeling the
2020
crunch.
money drew up.
Mhm.
And I just said I need a community for us to just continue to build our foundation and make it solid. And just, for basic operations. Our campaign was for $25. 20 reoccurring donors who could give $25 more a month, and I was hoping to raise $5,000. One of our listeners, they wanna remain nameless, donated $15,000.
What? What? Heifer, you supposed to tell me this on the side. Cause what you mean?
One
I'm
of our
getting the news when the
listeners,
people getting the news.
you're
What?
getting, because I wanted that reaction. It's so good.
50.
W
Listen, let me
One
tell
of
you
our
something.
listeners.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. First of all, thank you.
Thank you
Tremendous thank you to that listener.
tremendously.
We appreciate you. We promise you have sowed into good soil. I think you know that already.
Yes,
But my
yes.
God, today, that is
My
wonderful.
God, today. And she reached out to me and was like, she wanted to recommend me for a grant. And I was like, oh, okay, great. What information? She's like, I just need your EIN number. And I gave it to her and she emailed me back and was like, it's from, she has her own fund that she gives out of. And
She
still,
got any
I was
more?
like,
She got any
I don't,
more?
I
Okay.
don't know. But here's my thing. Here's
Mhm.
my thing. A closed
Mhm.
mouth don't get fed. That's number
Mhm.
one. Because I
Mhm.
hate raising money. I hate it. I hate asking for
Same.
donations, right? But a closed mouth don't get fed. Number two, we have community, and I know we have listeners. I know we have listeners, and I know we have day ones, but we really, really have community, and I'm
We
going
do.
to really I have some ideas about what I wanna do with the Patreon, and I'm really gonna, like, really just sit down and think about it and just really find a
Mm,
way to just cultivate that community. I was really nervous about doing it because that's a responsibility to me. But after I received this donation, I was like, no, I think people want to pour into us. I think
they
people
do.
want us to pour into them in a more intimate and tangible way. So that's what that donation inspired me to do.
That's
So
amazing.
I've already told her thank you, but I just wanted to share that with you all to let you all
Mm,
know, like, you never know. I was gonna raise $5,000 or raise 15,000. Like, you
mm.
just never know, like, because you have your head down and you're building, but take some time to look up. When you need support, ask, and let how people support you inspire you. So
That's
just wanna
beautiful.
say that.
You
Yeah.
so I knew nothing about this, but another friend called me just 2 nights ago and was like, I know it's late, but I just have to tell you, I just got a blessing out the blue." Similar. So something's going
Mm.
on with Black women getting
Community.
their
Community is showing up.
It's
Community is
exactly what she
showing up.
said. She was like,
Community
"I
is
didn't see it
showing up.
coming, but I needed it. It was right on time." And someone just called her out the blue and said, "How can I help? What do you need?" And she got exactly the amount she needed. So
Oh,
there's something happening among
wow.
us.
Wow. Community is showing up. We're
Yes.
responding. We're responding to what's going
Yes.
on.
I will
That was
take it.
actually our guest calling. She is in the waiting room.
Well,
She's
let's
in the
go.
lobby. Follow us. Y'all know what to do. Click that button. We gotta let our guest in. I'll do all the shebang bangs and follow and all that in our closing segment. But follow us, click that subscribe, click that like, sign up for our email list, click the notification button. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we gotta go. Our guest is here. Okay, so welcome to our mac and cheese segment. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now because y'all know I'm like a political junkie.
You are. You are.
And even though my major at Florida State was media production, I had to take like journalism classes and I was a sports reporter. So I feel like I'm like being a little bit in my bag today. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're gonna have a good
Okay.
time.
We're going to have a really good time. So today, our guest is Florida Representative Angie Nixon. And we're so excited to have her. You all may know her from the viral video when she took the bullhorn to the floor uh, of
The
Florida's
Stay
the
House.
state of Florida's State House to protest redistricting and talk about how unjust it was. We're glad to have her here. I'm so glad you're here, girl. I didn't know if you was gonna make
Mhm.
it because I saw you had got arrested. So
Fresh
she's
out of
fresh
lockup.
out. She
Woo,
is
we were
fresh out.
nervous.
Fresher.
When I saw
I mean, they let me go that night, that
I
same day, like
know.
actually within the hour. I
Oh,
mean, I appreciate the
Yeah.
tension you were trying to pull in, but yeah, look, it is Florida's flirting, Florida's flirting, and actually America is America-ing.
mm,
Yeah.
And I am just really appalled that these folks in power right now are trying to return us back to the worst chapters of our history,
mhm.
eh, and the worst chapters of our history that some of our elders have lived through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is one of the reasons that I decided to actually, protest on the House floor, because Representative Yvonne Henson, she represents the Alachua County, Gainesville, Ocala, Marion County
Mhm.
area. And she's the eldest member of the legislature. And I remember,
Ooh.
because I want folks to know that back in 2022, I also led a peaceful protest on the House floor, and I disrupted House proceedings then, because in 2022, they were unconstitutionally removing 2 Black congressional districts
Yep.
then.
Yep.
Mm.
And
Wait,
as I saw her
can
over
I just clock
there.
that? Like, this is in 2022. They're
Mhm.
supposed to wait 10 years. So I just want to like clock this for people. Like
Yes.
how they are just
Yes.
like at this point, the Constitution is just like
Steamrolling. Yep.
consideration. We don't have to go
they're
by
doing
that.
whatever they want to do
Whatever.
to stay in power at all times. And I remember on the House floor, Rep. Henson talked about the fact that she was spat on when she was fighting for their rights. She had dogs that were sicked on them and they were threatening to spray them with fire hoses. And she's still alive and she's having to deal with this stuff again with her rights being taken, right? Like potentially made harder for her to vote. And so she said then she's not going back. And I feel the exact same way. I couldn't sit idly by as they destroyed democracy. What good is decorum when democracy is currently being destroyed?
Absolutely.
Wait,
And I
pause
also-
That's a
pause,
soundbite. That's
pause
a
for the
soundbite.
pause.
Honey,
When
what
we say
good
pause
is
for the pause, that
decorum?
mean we got to run that back. So we want people to get that.
Yeah.
Now say that again for us. Say that again for us.
I mean, what good is decorum when democracy is being destroyed, right? Our country is being destroyed. And folks are saying, oh, she lacked professionalism. Respectability politics has gotten our people killed.
Absolutely.
It has. And right now, like they are boldly attacking us. And so this moment requires bold leadership. And I'm willing to be that leader to get people riled up and excited about the opportunity to build a new vision for our country.
Yeah.
One that does not look like this. One where greedy corporations and corrupt billionaires like aren't the ones that are pushing these policies. The policies aren't benefiting them. They're actually benefiting just hardworking everyday people. A story came out. Some of us Black legislators, some Black women are some millennials and like one Gen Xer. We're in a group chat together. We call it Black Girl Magic. And they dropped an article that illustrated the net worth of state lawmakers. Me and one of my Black Girl Magic counterparts, we are at the bottom 7 as far as net worth. And you can look at how we legislate and the policies that we seek to push. And we legislate in a way to address those hard-working Floridians in our state. But we have millionaires, like, I mean, like, multi-millionaires in the in the legislature, and they're passing policies to benefit corporations and to benefit rich people. And that is what happens all across the country, especially in Washington, D.C.
I'm in Florida, Representative. I'm in Florida. So I'm feeling this, but I want to thank you for continuing to hold the line and not let them get away with any of it and call it out and shed light. All the things you are doing are seen and appreciated, and we need more of you, quite frankly, more of you. But I just want to say as a Floridian, honey, who was in Randy Fine's area, you know where I am. That's where I live.
Did
So
you
I appreciate
know,
you.
he called me ignorant. He's called me a terrorist. He's called me out my name so many times. He is so disrespectful.
I'm not surprised at all. He's horrible. Absolutely horrible. So yeah, I just had to get in that thank you. I appreciate you for that. It's these unprecedented times. I don't even have words for this.
Yeah.
Because who would have predicted that we'd be back here? And who would have predicted that this audacity would have come back in this way? They are bold.
Yeah. Black women predicted
They are
it.
bold.
Well.
And
We be
did.
knowing.
Black
And
women
did.
did predict it. Yeah, black women
You
did
right,
predict
you
it.
right.
And did.
Black women
Right.
did predict it. I just want to say though, I was concerned because of the state of the country when I saw that you got arrested, and I'm glad that they let you go an hour, but I'm serious. I was like, oh Lord, like I don't put anything past these people. I don't put anything past these people, and I'm not in Florida, but I appreciate your willingness just to stand up because like you said, I still think we have people who are like, oh, decorum, oh, all of that, and we got people, flipping over the tables who aren't playing by the same rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into it. I'm going to read your bio quickly just for our listeners because we love to do this.
Listen,
Angie Nixon,
Representative came in hot. She came in hot.
She came in ready.
We
And y'all,
forgot
she
our
is
order.
literally on the like y'all, she's literally on the campaign trail. Like if you're not watching on YouTube, like she is like in the car on the campaign trail. Where are you on your way to?
We're on our way back home to Jacksonville.
Okay.
We're leaving Palm Beach, going back to Jacksonville. Yeah.
All right, I'm waving
I
at you
gotta
on
go. I
95.
have to go see. I haven't seen my babies in a minute. So yeah.
Oh, she's from Jacksonville, so I'm just gonna pause right here so that y'all can do the Duval call. I'm just gonna pause.
Duval.
Okay, there we go. There we
Okay.
go. Okay. Okay. Angie Nixon is not a career politician. She is a union organizer, mother, small business owner, and proven fighter born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. In the Florida State House, she has built a reputation of taking on the fights that matter, expanding childcare access for families, stretched thin by rising costs, pushing back against corporate price gouging when Floridians could least afford it, and leading the resistance when the governor of Florida, I can't say his name, advanced voting maps designed to silence Black and working class communities. Before Tallahassee, Angie served as executive director of Florida for All, where she registered tens of thousands of new voters and built people power across the state. Back home in Jacksonville, she runs a bookstore and community hub dedicated to healthy food access, education, and civic engagement. Because for Angie, real change doesn't start in Washington, it starts in our neighborhoods. Her commitment to this fight is deeply personal. She watched her mother work 2 jobs to keep food on the table. She was bused across town because her neighborhood school lacked adequate resources, and she carried the devastating loss of her favorite cousin to gun violence in every room she has ever fought in. These experiences shaped her belief in what government should do. Open doors, not build walls. Now she's running for U.S. Senate because Florida families are being squeezed from every direction. Housing, insurance, groceries, wages, while corporate special interests continue to write the rules. Angie Nixon is running because Florida deserves leadership that stands up to corporate greed, defends civil rights, protects our democracy, and invests in our children's future. With Florida's extraordinary people and rich resources, she believes every family deserves not just to survive, but to thrive. Okay, we're going to start with our signature question. Where were you 10 years ago, and did you think you'd be where you are right now? And just context, 10 years ago was Barack Obama's last year, the last year of his presidency. And we were in the throes of the 2016 election.
Yeah. In 2015, 2016, I was actually working on Bernie Sanders' campaign. And then I think around this time, though, I had transitioned to a little bit of work with an organization working to try to elect Hillary Clinton. And so I'm a community organizer. So I've been organizing in the state of Florida for nearly 2 decades now. And so so I was doing a little bit of work trying to save folks from Donald Trump back then.
Did you think you'd be where you are right now?
I ran for office straight out of college, basically, because I had interned with someone that was a city council member. And then when I ran after that, I was like, this isn't for me. I like being behind the scenes. I like campaigning. I like educating people about the importance of voting. And so I told myself I never was going to run for office again. But back in 2020, when all of the uprisings were happening due to the George Floyd execution, and also the fact that the person that was in this seat before me was not doing the job that I felt she needed to do. She stated that she thanked God for slavery because if it wasn't for slavery, she would be over in Africa somewhere worshiping a tree. And so, yes, she said that.
Yep.
And so I was like, absolutely not.
Not a tree. Okay.
So So yeah, she stated that, and I was trying to get people to run against her, and no one wanted to run against her, so I decided to
Mm.
do it.
Oh,
And
wow.
what's interesting is I was pregnant at the time, and so I ran against her. I ran against her. I was 9 months pregnant and had COVID during part of that race, and I unseated
What?
her. So I beat an incumbent. Yep, yep.
Wow.
I
Wow.
did not know that
Wow.
story. I did not. That's wonderful.
That's
What?
amazing. And I just want to clock this because I think a lot of us are looking for a leader.
Yeah.
A lot of us are looking for a leader. And um sometimes it's like, well, if you can't find one, maybe it's you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
I think that that's a beautiful story. Okay, so I wanna jump
Mhm.
right into it because you came in hot. We're gonna talk some politics because you already got the energy going, so I
Mhm.
wanna keep it going. So, recently, in response to the Supreme Court's ruling in April that gutted Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which allowed the Justice Department or private citizens to go to court when election laws had racially discriminatory effects, Latasha Brown, founder of Black Voters Matter, said, "We are not in the business of preserving their version of America. We are in the business of building ours. This is a new frontier. The old fight is over. The old tools have broken. A new frontier, new thinking, new people stepping into power who have been waiting their whole lives for this call. We are the architects now." What does that mean to you?
What that means to me is that it's time for just regular hardworking folks to determine what our communities look like and what our economies look like.
Mhm.
And so what that means to me is that the single mamas, or not even the single mamas, the mamas, right? Like the construction workers, the fast food restaurant workers, the teachers, the school bus drivers, the nurses, those are the ones who need to be in leadership
Mhm.
and who need to be in office. Like, honestly, can you imagine if those people, those types of folks were actually in power?
Hmm.
What types of policies do you think they'll
Yeah.
pass? They definitely wouldn't be passing bills that like cut taxes for rich people, like the wealthiest of wealthiest. Like they would be passing legislation to make hardworking people's lives easier, right? Like for them to say, the people in power to say to us that they don't have the resources for us to have things like Medicare for
Right.
all, or to make sure that we are investing more money into Social Security. But they say that, but then they allow the president to spend $1 billion in a ballroom that none of us will be able to dance
Mhm.
in. They're allowing the president to go into a war where they're spending nearly $2 billion a day that we didn't ask to be in. And you mean to tell me we don't have money to make sure there's free
Right.
college, or to make
Hmm.
sure that that parents only have to spend like $10 a day on early childhood education? Like, the money is there. And also, like, we need to make these billionaires pay what they owe. Did you know that 88 companies made like over $105 billion last year and they pay absolutely nothing in federal taxes? Like, that's a
Yeah,
slap in the
Yeah.
face to us. That's a slap in the
Yeah.
face to us. Meanwhile, like our costs are going up. The cost of gas, the cost
Everything.
of food, like everything. It costs way too much money just to be alive. Just to be
Mhm.
Mhm.
alive. People are frankly they are not just working to live, they only living to work, and that's really messed up. No one should just be alive just to work, and I'm just tired of it, and, like, we have to do something different. We can do something different. We just need to start electing, like, the different people. Like I said earlier, we are
Yeah.
boldly being attacked. This moment requires bold leadership. Quiet, timid, status quo leadership is not going to get us out of this mess that we're in. It's not. Come hell or high water, like these Republicans are going to turn out at all cost. And if
Yeah.
Democrats or folks who just really care about people want to win, they got to take some bold stances and like really excite the base of people who are frankly just fed up with politics as usual.
Mhm. Mhm.
So how is room made for those people to run? Because it takes so much money to run for office. So how can we make room for those people to run, to get into leadership positions?
So I would say that it's important to know that I was not backed by the establishment when I first ran for office, and I was outspent 5-1. I didn't. I made
Wow.
room for myself. We cannot just wait on the establishment to make room for us. We have to make room for ourselves, for our people, and we have to be in
Yeah.
community with each other. I believe that there's two types of power. There's organized people and there's organized money. Right now,
Mm.
organized money is winning. But I know that organized people will beat organized money any day, but we just have to make sure that the people get organized. We're not organized right now. We're starting to get organized, but that's how we win. And also, like we can't ask for permission. We Black women on this call, last time I checked, we don't ask for
Mhm.
permission for anything. We just have to do it.
No.
Power concedes nothing without demand. These people are holding on to power at all costs. They are not going to willingly allow us to get power. Hell, they just gutted the Voting Rights Act. They tried to take our power. So we can't wait on them. We have to like organize and just get in the fight and do the dang on thing.
Yeah.
And I would tell people we're literally in a civil rights moment right now. And we need to decide how we want our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren to think about how we showed up in this moment. And so I'm asking people to do something. I don't want folks to like just do what I did. I don't want folks to get arrested. You don't have to get arrested, but like join an organization. If you too
Yeah.
busy and you working, like donate to these organizations. There are people who are on the ground doing the
Mm.
work, but they need more money to help expand the work. They need more bodies, if possible, to help volunteer. They need people's talent and time. And again, like I say, to their treasure as well, if they can make donations. But that's what we have to do. We cannot
Mm.
ask for permission.
You're talking a lot about money, and you use organized money. You've talked repeatedly about corporate money. I don't know if people get the connection between a candidate who takes no corporate PAC money and a candidate that does. I don't know if people really understand why that's important, if that's at top of mind for
Yeah.
people. Can you break that down? Like why does that really matter?
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened here in the state of Florida. I'll give you like a real world example. There was a gun manufacturer that manufactured a gun that wound up exploding in people's hands. And so people started filing lawsuits in regards to it. And so this gun manufacturer decided that they didn't want that liability. They didn't want to take liability for what was happening. So they donated over $100,000 to different Republicans in the state capitol. Next thing we know, legislation was filed like releasing them from any liability. And so they
Mm.
passed that bill. I don't know if it passed in the Senate. I know it passed in the House, but like that's what happens. These corporations want ways in which they won't be liable for any harm that they cause. They want to figure out ways that they can cut costs and cut regulations so that they can make more money.
Mhm.
And so they will pad the campaign coffers of those folks that are in leadership, which causes these really bad bills to pass, which are detrimental to us. For instance, um, in Miami, locally, they had passed an ordinance making it mandatory for people that work on roofs to be able to have water breaks.
Hmm.
It makes sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like heat heat protection bills and things like that. They passed that. Well, a lot of these developers and construction companies went to the leadership in the state house and said, hey, I'm finna give y'all this money. I need y'all to preempt that type of legislation. What preempts means is to not allow them to be able to do that because the state tells other local municipalities what they can and cannot do. And so they gave them money and they preempted that legislation. So now people can say, you got to work on this roof without a break. People die on roofs every year based on having heat strokes and that type of stuff. And we see this often. There was another bill. So do y'all remember back in 2020, we voted to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. It's set to go to $15 an hour by this year in September. This year, some companies came together and said, hey, that minimum wage, we don't like that. So these lawmakers this year decided to write a bill and pass a bill in the state house that says, oh, you don't have to pay people $15 an hour. You can pay them $7.25 an hour if they sign their rights away and you say that it's a work-based learning job. You can keep them at $7.25 for up to 9 months. That's what they passed. And then I quote, one of my colleagues stated that the American dream is being destroyed because companies have to pay people $15 an hour.
Wow.
So I think that that's really important because I don't know what people really understand. Like when corporate money, when they pack the campaign like that, elected officials are not looking to the people. They're looking to the corporations to keep them in power. And so I think making that connection is so, so important because you just gave examples of literally how that impacts people's day-to-day lives. Like in South Florida,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't take a water break
Nope.
in
Nope.
South Florida.
Because the
I
development
don't,
companies said that you can't. And
for those of
they
you who are not
controlling.
from like South Florida weather is not like LA weather,
Oh,
okay?
no. Oh, no.
South Florida
Oh, no.
weather is like, it can be like, let me say, it's like 97 degrees, but it feels like 102
They don't know
because
about
of the
that humidity.
because
Ooh,
of
honey.
the
You feel like you're stepping into
humidity.
an oven. You
You
know, you
feel
put your
like
hand in
you're
the oven,
stepping
it's
through
stepping into that.
and you
Yeah.
literally feel like you have to cut through the air in
It's thick.
order
It's thick.
to walk. So not being able to take a water break on a roof, which means it's hotter on the roof. You're not under no shade. You know what I'm saying? How would this U.S. Senate race impact reproductive justice and Black maternal health? Those are two things that we're really passionate about on this podcast. We're a friend of the pod is Jamara, who founded Southern Birth Justice, which is based in
South
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, she's a friend of the pod. She's a midwife in Miami, founded Black Midwives Day. And so how would this Senate race impact reproductive justice and Black maternal health?
So it would impact it because in me, you would have someone who is a vocal advocate for addressing the Black maternal mortality rate, right? Like, you know, Black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth. And also, like, I would push and support the Momnibus bill, which Congresswoman Lauren Underwood has pushed. And so I am someone who you don't have to worry about not voting in support of that, right? And so definitely pushing back on the DEI attacks and that type of stuff, because how are we going to address disparities within our community, particularly as it relates to Black maternal health care and reproductive justice, if we can't say Black and like look at the issues concerning Black women? And so I would be a vocal advocate in support of that and willing to file legislation around that. And so it would just be a positive.
on your website, you talk about codifying abortion, right, as national legislation. So my question is, and what I mean by codifying is legislation that would make abortion access health care and that it be provided
Yep.
like as national law, right? We also have the John Lewis legislation that is yet John Lewis bill
Yep.
about voting that has yet to be
Voting
passed,
Rights
right?
Act. Yeah.
So let's say those things happen. Let's say the Democrats do win the Senate and those things do happen. How would the Senate be able to combat that when it comes to the Supreme Court? Because
Yeah.
they stack the
Yes.
court. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that question. So, we need to do the same thing. I am for expanding the court, but
Hello.
only after we get Donald Trump out. Because
Right. Right.
we need to make
Not
sure
yet.
that we have a Democrat to appoint
Yeah.
those Supreme Court justices. So your girl is going to have to run for re-election again because this is this is a special election. But I would have to run for re-election to get back in.
Mhm.
But I would be voting to expand the courts when we have a Democratic president for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you, Angie. I was nervous about asking the question. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, and I appreciate your candidness. No, real talk. Because a lot of people are like, well, they go back to decorum. They go back to the founders and all of that. And so I appreciate the candor because you are like recognizing we are in a different time. We are in
Yes.
a different
Yeah, we
time.
are. Yeah, we have to do what they do, right? Like, I mean, not harmful things,
Hmm.
but we have to play like they play. We have to be strategic. I get so pissed off at Democrats that
Yes.
when we get in power, we're like, oh, we got to get this bipartisan support and all the things. Let me be clear, like, Democratic values would benefit everybody. We just need to do what we need to do.
Yes.
Like, period. If we did that, if we led in that way, we wouldn't be in this mess that we're in right now.
Yeah.
You don't see Republicans talking about, oh, we need to work in a bipartisan fashion. They say, we're going to steamroll them and do this and do that. And you're just like, they don't have decorum, okay? Like, they don't have decorum. And so we just need to do what we need to do, which
Yeah.
is fight for the people and put forth legislation and policies for the people.
I love that because you remember when Reese was on our show, Reese Colbert, we had her on our show, and she was like, Republicans, they go big. They get in office, they're
Mhm.
like, we're going to take over Greenland. And Democrats be like, well, can we just have can you just
Exactly.
extend,
No, we're not doing
the
that.
Voting Rights Act a couple of more years? Like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I love
Mm-mm.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
I
I
love that.
vacillate between seeing it as cowardice, you know what I mean, and seeing it as something else. Like, is it because you're following your pockets as well? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Why are we
Yeah,
not
it's a
seeing
little bit. Oh,
backbones?
Nikisha. Woo, Nikisha. It is a bit of both, honey. It is cowardice and it is like there are corporate dems. Like, and I want to be clear, like I am critical of not only the Republican Party, I'm critical of the Democratic Party too, because
As
if
we
you
should
take your
be.
money from the same people these Republicans take it from, then clearly you're gonna be beholden to the same people.
You know better.
And
You
so
know
that's
better.
the problem.
See,
And I would say corporations don't necessarily pick sides, they pick winners. So just because this corporation
Exactly.
gave to a Republican, if they like, oh, but this Democrat might win, you want some change? You want to
Yeah.
be able to run another TV ad?
Exactly.
Like, they have no allegiance to the party.
Exactly.
So I just want to be clear about that. So you talked about being critical of the Democrats, and there's been a lot of talk about the South lately. All roads lead to the South.
Can y'all stop leaving Florida out of the South? You know they don't talk about us as like we're in the South. We
I
are in the
must
South.
say,
that's why we're the mess we're in now. No,
I
there's a lot
must
of reasons
say
we're in
I
our
was
mess.
guilty of that. I was very guilty of not counting Florida as a South.
You were
But
friend.
Crystal, Crystal,
Don't do that to
disrespectful.
us.
Let me tell you why it's disrespectful. Because we have the second largest Black population in the country, in the state of Florida. We have nearly 4 million Black people in our state. Y'all cannot discount us and remove us from the South. Like, we have more Black people in
Second
Florida
in the
than Georgia.
country?
Second,
More than
that's-
Georgia?
Yeah. Well, this
Yes.
is
Now,
well.
I'm
let me
learning
just-
today.
Yes.
What?
Well, see, you think that you're surprised more to Georgia because it's like you think Atlanta, but then
It's
there's
true. That's true.
Atlanta and
The
there's
rest,
Georgia.
the rest
You
of
see what I'm
Georgia. That's
saying?
right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
There's
yeah. I
Atlanta,
got you.
there's Georgia.
Mhm.
But the reason I thought that is because when I went to college in Florida, Lawton Childs was the governor, and and I'm from South Carolina, and the feel of Florida was very, very different from the feel of South Carolina. So I felt like this don't really feel like the South to me, but
That was
the
Tallahassee.
South.
I mean, you know what? South Carolina is kind
Yes,
of antebellum
yes,
type
yes,
feel,
yes.
girl. Because I've worked in South Carolina. I've lived there for like
Yeah.
8 months or so on a campaign, and I'm But I
Antebellum.
want to be clear, like Crystal.
No, she's right.
I'm just-
we are the
listen,
womb. Like the
it
people
is.
came in through here, Nikisha. I just said it. Like we are the womb. Like
Exactly.
first is the seed.
Exactly.
When the initial Voting Rights Act passed, South Carolina was the first state to sue the government so that wouldn't pass. So yeah, I mean,
I got you.
it's
Okay.
real. But I read this book called South to America by Imani Perry. She's like, a lot of people don't consider Florida the South. And she lays out civil rights in Florida. She lays out civil rights leaders that were killed. Their houses were bombed in Florida.
Mhm.
She makes the
Here?
connection
The
to
Moors
Cuba
here? Mhm.
and enslavement and the more and all of that. And so that really shifted my thinking. I was like, oh wow. I was really, hating on Florida, not me in South, but I was guilty, but I don't think that
Right.
anymore. I don't think that anymore. But
Put some respect on us, girls.
and really like Northern Florida is just South Georgia.
It is. Exactly. That's where I'm from. That's why
Yeah.
I be like, what you talking about? We not in the
Yes.
South.
It's southern
yeah,
up there.
And that panhandle,
All over. You
Alabama.
can find places all where I am, even though it's central East Coast, is still very is
Yeah.
rural up in here. Yeah, so it's all over Florida in little places. I found that to be the case in California though when I lived there, and that shocked me. Some rural parts of California, I was there in 2016. That was ridiculous. But all over the country, we're seeing, even in places that are really, really diverse, we're seeing a lot of that. The pockets of concentrations of Black folk, but then surrounded by chaos.
So you said that you're critical of Republicans and Democrats, and you talked about Florida having the second largest Black state with the second largest Black population, and 56% of Black people in the country live in the South. Yet the GOP has a stronghold on the South. What do Democrats and progressives need to learn about particularly Black folks in the South? Because I think that's the key to breaking the stronghold. I think a lot of people have blue state bubble, but honestly, how the South goes, so goes America. I forgot who said that quote.
The country
Yeah,
goes.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's true. And if they're doing it in the South, they're just trying it out. They're just trying to figure out how they can work it through the rest of the country. Every presidential candidate that has won has been able to win like a southern state. And a Democrat presidential candidate has been able to win a southern state in order to carry them to the White House. For Barack Obama, it was North Carolina and Virginia, and for Biden, it was
Biden.
it was Georgia.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
Georgia. And so what lessons do they need to learn in order to break that stronghold? Because I just think they kind of they're like, oh, you need a candidate like a Mondani. And I'm like, it's different. Like, what lessons do they need to learn instead of seeing it through Northern eyes? I hope that makes sense.
No, of course. So they need to go talk to Black people. Like, we need to go talk to Black people.
You know
That's
what,
it
Angie? Can I
is.
just pause? Wait,
We need to
Angie, I
listen
just
to
gotta
them.
pause you because I think is she the first person running for office we've had on here?
She is.
And I've heard a lot of interviews with people running for office,
Hmm.
and it's often like canned answers and regurgitating. And I
Listen, I
just
told you
have
she was different.
let me tell you, you
She
just
not
making it
playing with
plain.
these
You
people.
just making it plain. What do they need to do? I'm trying to like intellectualize the question. And just like, they need to go talk to Black people. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Listen to
I mean,
us.
we can't continue to do the same things we've been doing. And I'm not a politician. I've been elected for 6 years, but I'm not a politician by no means. I am a regular, hardworking person that happens to be a public servant and happens to be elected. And so I'm not going to give you that political speak and all of the thing. Like,
Hmm.
no, first of all, people don't understand that. And also, it's not that intellectual. It is plain. They try to make it seem like it's so complex and nuanced and all these things. It's not. Go talk to people. Go see what it is that they care about. Like, allow them the opportunity to dream and decide what they want their communities and economies to look like, and then you figure out ways to make that happen, right? Like, you talk about the policies that can get us to
Mhm.
that point. And folks
Mm.
don't do that. And so, yeah, if we do that, we'll win.
Mm. Simple as that.
Simple as that. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Again, he used to say, Lauryn Hill gave us everything we needed in 3 albums. It could all be so easy, but you'd rather make it hard.
That's it.
Um, so speaking of that, as an elected official, what are you most proud of when it comes to things that you've done for the people that you represent? Things that you've done or things that you fought for the people you
Yes,
represent?
so I would say that what I'm most proud of is the fact that I've been able to expand access to early childhood education.
Mhm.
With the bill that they actually took and put into an omnibus bill, it actually helped early childhood education providers who had school readiness vouchers to be able to get paid and be able to offer up their services to low income students. And also, I was able to stop big box stores from price gouging in some hardworking communities and working
Mm.
families communities. I've also been able to house hundreds of families who were being kicked out because their landlords or slumlords were trying to jack up the rent on them. And so we were able to connect people to resources to be able to get housing. And so those are the things that I'm most proud of.
So obviously the show is called Dim Black Mamas. And so we have every conversation through the lens of being Black mothers. I would love to hear you talk a little bit about your work through that lens, what that means to your mothering, what you'd like to reflect for your own children in your work.
So I think that's why I am so proud of just the early childhood education
Mhm.
legislation that I was able to get across the finish line. I was a single mom for over 12 years. And so I approach my lawmaking, right, in that way. And even my life, to the point my husband is like, "You're not single anymore. Like, let me help you," right?
Let a brother live.
And
Let a
so
brother live.
I know, I know, I know. And so I approach everything I do and how I see things are going to impact people from the perspective of how I was when I was a single Black mom, because
Mm.
it was tough for me. And so if you watch my debates on some of these harmful bills that they push out, I'm always talking from the perspective of how it would have impacted me as a single mom. And
Mhm.
so that is why I am so vocal about the fact that we need to get big money out of politics, and we need to get hardworking families and their lived experience into politics
Mm,
so that we
mm,
can change the way our country is operating.
Yeah,
mm, mm.
that's good.
Thank you for that. So we just have a couple of more questions. Um, What would your vision be for reparations
Mm.
for descendants of enslaved Africans?
I think we need to look at like what that would look like. But I'm all for it. I'm supportive of it. Whether it is some monetary things or maybe it's some tax breaks for the rest of our lives, right? Like
Mhm.
maybe it's some educational opportunities. I think there's been some folks who may have done some studies on what it should look
Mhm.
like, but I'm down for whatever makes sense. They just set up a 1.7 something billion-dollar slush fund for the insurrectionists. So you mean to tell me you can't set up a fund for folks who've helped build this
Yeah.
country? So like, let's make it happen. Right now, as democracy is falling and our country is falling apart, right now would be the opportunity for us to like look at reparations in some way, shape, or form. So I'm down for
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah, and that slush fund is crazy because it's like you can give a slush fund to people who attempted a coup, but you can't forgive the student loans of people who are working in their communities to transform their
Ooh,
communities.
child,
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can't.
listen.
it's not.
That part,
It's not
that
can
part.
like they say in dating, honey. If they wanted to, they would.
If they wanted to, they would. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nikisha, for bringing it home, girl. Thank you for bringing it home.
You.
Making it live, making it live. Yeah, because when I heard that, I immediately thought, oh, they're giving out reparations?
Mm.
Okay. So we can give out reparations.
So it was
Okay.
possible all.
It's
It was an option
possible.
all
Right.
along.
It's
Mm-hmm.
possible
Right.
all along.
Right.
I think about that as
Right.
you being someone from Florida. When I was in school, I worked with a filmmaker who helped create Rosewood. And I honestly didn't know the number of Black communities. Rosewood is just one story, but the number of Black communities that were built throughout the country and then burned to the ground.
Uh-huh.
And the amount of wealth that those communities created, and then they were burned, the amount of wealth that, I mean, enslaved Africans built literally, for this country. And I always tell people, my mom grew up in the segregated South. I can still touch Jim Crow. My mom was one of
Mm-hmm.
the first students in our county to go to an integrated high school. And so, like, that's still very real for me. That wasn't 100 years ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Again, I just appreciate you because a lot of people, when I hear that question asked, I hear a lot of people say, you know, we can look into it.
Mm. Mm.
And then they like pivot. But you have done no pivoting. You have done no, pivoting.
Listen, if they are giving money to insurrectionists, they can give money to
Yeah.
Black people. And then the man won't. They're saying they're making it so that he
Yeah.
can't be
Yeah.
investigated anymore. Like just wild. I want
Honey,
him
under the
locked
jail.
up.
Mm,
Him and
Do you hear
everybody,
me?
all of
mm,
them.
mm,
Yes.
mm.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
them.
Because a lot of people aren't
All
even
of
willing
them.
to say that. It's like, we need to heal and move on.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have to learn that, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln was an attempted coup. I don't think we teach that other like federal officials were injured, and it was an attempted coup. And John Wilkes Booth was trying to make his way south to revive the Confederacy, and there was a whole conspiracy behind it. And we didn't do any healing. We didn't do any reconciliation. We built things, but we didn't, do any reconciliation. And so here we are
Yeah.
again.
America's chickens have come home to roost.
I mean, if you don't
And
know
they
anything,
will
if you don't know anything about
continue to.
if you don't know anything about the Confederacy, we're living in it.
Yeah.
We're living
Yeah.
in it. We are living in it.
Listen. Especially in the South, Lord.
So,
Especially in the South.
some closing questions. So, well, number one, I want to know, why did you choose pink as your signature color? Because that's the color of our podcast.
Um, I don't even. I just red, white, and blue is,
Mhm.
everyone does it, and I wanted to
Mm.
stand out. I don't
You
know. I think I
You
look good
do.
in pink too.
You
so-
do.
You do. You do. You do.
My daughter
Yes.
loves pink. She's like, Mommy, I know your favorite color. It's pink, my 5-year-old. So, I mean, I think I
Yeah,
look
you
cute
do.
in it.
Valid reason.
And it's memorable. It's memorable. And so, like, it's become my signature.
Last question. What keeps you up
So
at night? What gives you hope? And how are you caring for yourself?
So thank you for that question. I really appreciate y'all. What keeps me up at night? I cried earlier today because I was on a call with 2 senior advisors on my team. Cause the weight of everything that's happening right now is just it's so heavy. It was weighing on me. And the reason it's so heavy right now is because, like, we have so much to gain right now. I don't want to say we have a lot to lose. We have so much to gain because we're like, our back is against the wall, and we deserve just so much more. And I just don't want people to feel as though nothing is going to change. Like, that's the worst
Yeah.
thing. Like, apathetic folks,
Yeah.
like, to just be like, they're feeling
Yeah.
hopeless, right? Like, that's what keeps me up at night. How can I make folks to realize that we can change what we're living in, how we're living right now? So, like, that keeps me up at night, knowing that my 5-year-old is possibly going to have to fight for the same things that my 18-year-old is fighting for, that I fought for, that my mom fought for, that my grandma fought for, and I don't want that to be. What gives me hope is that these young people are off the train, and I love it. Generation Z does not, they don't take no for an answer. They are amazing, and I appreciate their vocalness. I appreciate their boldness. I appreciate them and their unwillingness to just go along with what's been given to them. And so I believe that they are going to, like, help lead the way. Generation Z is gonna help lead the way and usher in Alpha. I just think about it because I have kids that are
Yeah,
Generation
Me
Z
too,
and
me
Alpha,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Like, my 18-year-old,
Yeah.
my 18-year-old is
Yeah.
Generation Z, and, like, she's thoughtful in regards to things, but
That
that dang old Alpha, that
That
5-year-old,
alpha.
baby,
That's a
that
COVID
COVID
baby.
baby, she ready to, like, no,
She built
this is
different.
what it is. This is what it is, mommy. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, we have to bend and bow down to her when she wake.
Same with my 6-year-old, Representative. Same.
Woo.
That alpha, they built different. They built different. Mine
They are
wasn't even, my
built
alpha wasn't even, my alpha is
differently.
like at near the, one of the oldest alpha, like near the top end of it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa. Like my daughter, my daughter who's our oldest, she told him, she's like, you're not a good baby brother. And he was like, what? She's like, you don't do whatever the oldest ones say. You just like, she's like with your brothers, I could just tell them
Exactly.
to do anything, they would do it. You'll be like, I don't know how I feel about that. Let me just think on it. I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know. She's like, you're not
Exactly.
good at it.
I had to get on my 18-year-old one day. I was like, why are you arguing with a 5-year-old? Like, you are literally, like, going back and forth
It's
with
real
a
though.
5-year-old. Like, legit. Like, and it is a very articulate discussion that she is having
And the
with you. But,
5-year-old is
like,
hanging in there. The
I'm like,
5-year-old
not
is
letting
hanging
up.
in there.
Not letting
I'm
up.
like, I'm like, but I'm like, Ashanti's 5, Nelly. Like, she's being articulate, but, like, she's not. She has no lived
None.
experience. Like, why
Had
are
no
you
lived
living
experience.
Oh
They
my
have. I was
gosh.
like, I'm like,
Oh,
I
so-
tell my teenager that, like, he has no lived experience. He's pulling from Blackish. Like, he don't know. He's only seen a show.
You don't know his
Why are
struggle. You don't know his struggle.
I
Right.
don't know his struggle.
Right, they
Yes.
are so
Are.
funny. My daughter said the other day, she's like, "Oh, I want to go to a fine dining restaurant." You're 5, like, You are 5. What are you talking about? Girl, you better get this McDonald's. You better get this McDonald's.
No, ma'am.
So they are, I look
Yeah.
forward to them leading the way,
Yes.
okay? And then you
How are you
ask
taking care of yourself?
like how am I taking care of myself? I am not taking care
Oh,
of myself the way I need
that's why I
to.
asked.
But
That's why I asked.
listen, you know, I ain't gonna lie on this call. Keisha looking at me like a crazy person. I'm trying to
Okay,
stay in the country. But no, I have been I'm going really, really hard, but like I am taking some moments to just like binge
Oh,
out
what are
on
you
shows and just
watching?
like
Okay.
turn my like
Yeah.
what am I watching? So I'm catching up on Abby.
Yeah.
I'm so behind. But like I love Abby. I already caught up on
Yeah, me too.
Cross.
See, I had to catch up.
And then
I had to
Paradise
take a break, but
Girl.
I did see Cross through to the end. But I had to take a
He's
break,
so
but I did see
funny.
it through to the end. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm behind on Paradise.
So
Yeah.
I love Paradise, yes, and then I can't wait to Reasonable Doubt
That's our
come
show.
back, baby. I
That's our
love,
show. That's our show. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love those shows with Black
Mhm.
protagonists. Like
Yeah.
I love
That's
a good
list. Listen,
them.
That
while you
is.
out there
I
saving
love
the
them.
world, please save yourself.
Yes.
Please save yourself.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
am.
Because we
I
need
am.
you.
What kind of support do you need? How can people volunteer?
What?
Let the people know.
I
Okay.
need your time. I need you to volunteer. I need you to make phone calls. If you are in Florida, I need you help
Okay.
knocking on doors. Nikisha, I might need you to be a surrogate and go out to
Okay.
some of these events and talk me
Come
up,
on.
girl.
Yes,
Talk
ma'am.
me up. I need folks' talent, so whatever they're good at that could help amplify and help the campaign out, that would be great. If there are fundraisers, if people are good at raising money, if people are good at social media, if people are good at speaking, like all that, we need your talent. And then we need your treasure. I am letting folks know that it doesn't have to be this way. And so I am running a people power campaign and I need folks to donate. Would love for folks to become recurring donors. So I'm asking people to like forego their cafe latte or their frap for the week and put that towards a donation to my campaign instead, so that we can actually spread the message about who I am and why folks should vote for me.
We'll also have a link for you to register in our show notes. And, there's a lot of talk about we need this kind of candidate. We need that kind of candidate. We want someone who does this and so on. Now's the time. Now's the time. Now is the time. Don't wait and then you be mad at what you got when you had
Right.
it.
And then you gonna be mad, and I'm gonna be looking at you
Right.
like,
Right.
It could
We got
all
someone
be
here
so
who.
different, but
Yes.
you'd rather make it hard. I just want y'all to hold on to that. I just want y'all to hold on to that.
come
That's
on,
it.
Lauren.
She talks the talk. She walks the walk.
El Boogie.
El
I know people got a lot of
Boogie,
issues with
El
her, but she was right about that.
She was.
But thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
reaching out. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your voice. And thank you for your fearlessness. So it was great to have you. Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
you.
Appreciate you.
All right, friends, we are back to one of our favorite segments. Y'all know how we do it. Black Mamas Say. Going all the way back. Some sayings Black Mamas have been saying forever, but we put our little dim Black Mamas stank on it, put a little spin on it. Today, our Black Mama Say is, I got time today. Crystal, you got time today?
I don't have time today, but I'm going to tell you who did have time. And there's a lesson that we can learn from this. Okay? A lesson we can learn
I
from
can't wait
this.
to hear.
So, a Michigan tenant called his landlord over.
I cannot stand you.
By the time y'all hear this episode, this story will be a month old, but I'm going to still put the link for
Why
it
are you like
in the
this?
show notes. Just let me make the connection, Nikisha.
Go ahead.
Let me make the connection.
Let her cook.
Okay? Okay, let me make the connection. Okay, let me cook. Okay? Okay. A Michigan tenant called his landlord over to do some work in his home. The landlord was caught on the tenant's camera having sex inside the home instead. I don't have time, but this landlord had time. And it wasn't a quickie. This is how I know he had time. He went in the kitchen, did something in the kitchen. I don't know. All I know is he came out butt naked in the
He made a
kitchen.
sandwich. He ate a ham sandwich.
That's what the tenant thinks.
Mhm.
He came out butt naked
Mhm.
in the kitchen. And for over an hour,
Mhm.
what did the news reporter say?
Mhm. Mhm.
Bonnet down. What did she say? Bonnet down, legs up.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
over an hour. He had time. So this is what I want us to learn from this. While the world,
Mhm.
not the world, because it's not the world, it's just America.
Mhm.
Why America is burning down, we must make the time whichever way we can, however we can get it. Do I think this man was right?
Mm-mm.
But he took the time that he had. That was the only time he had. He took the time that he had.
So he chose that moment when he was going
He
over to
chose
fix
that
his
moment.
tenants.
Here's my point.
Something.
This is my point.
To bring somebody. He wasn't there
I got
alone.
time.
Somebody in a bonnet. To bring somebody in a bonnet up in this man's living space.
And orthopedic shoes, mind you.
Orthopedic shoes and a bonnet. Get butt naked on their couch. Okay. He had a lot of time. And audacity is what he had.
I don't think the person he was having sex with had a lot of time because they didn't take off their shoes nor their bonnet. So they didn't want to get their hair messed up.
They laid their bonnet down, feet up for an hour.
Feet up with shoes on. So they had to get in, get out, because they still had their shoes on, which is very pornish. But okay, that's the story for another day.
Why would the landlord bring somebody over to you?
You're asking the wrong questions, I think.
I am.
I think you're asking the wrong question. The right question is somebody made a call and somebody was like, you got time today? And they're like, do I have time today? And he was like, you know what? I do have time today.
Meet me at my tenant's place. Meet me over at this house.
My tenant's place.
I'm renting out.
So what I'm saying is we got to stay focused. We have to stay focused
and
in
still
this moment
get it
in time.
Find time to get it in.
We have to get it in. We have to get it in. Because the fact that he did it in his tenant's house tells me he needed it. He really, really, it was the only time he had.
Is that what that tells you?
He's probably married. He's probably married too. That's why he didn't do it at his house.
That's more likely.
Probably married.
He needed a location and a time.
It was the only time he had.
Mm-hmm.
Only time he had. And he took it. He took it. He took it. Wow. Okay. So the lesson in that is take the time. Take the time. Take the time to get it in.
Okay.
Because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that
time and place
during this crisis.
Not every place is appropriate.
I disagree.
Not every place is appropriate.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only time he had, Nikisha. It was the only time he had, and he took it. We have to take the time we have.
Okay.
The
authorities are investigating whether a crime was committed. They will get back to
that's, again, Nikisha's asking the wrong questions. That is beside the point. My point is, in this day and age, we got to take the time that we have. We have to take the time that we have in this day and age. We must take the time that we have to get the things that we need that are going to carry us through. Clearly, this man needed it. Clearly. Clearly. Why else would he do that? Why else would he do that?
We're just gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up. Black Mama Say there. I think that's
but
enough.
We can learn. I think
that's enough for Black Mama Say today. We're just gonna go on.
We can learn. Oh, see, I did that one because I thought you were gonna do another one. So that's why I did that one.
I mean, is there anything more that could be said? Okay, so friends, to wrap up, Black Mama Say.
I was gonna do a political one.
I got time today. I'm just going to say Representative Angie Nixon had time today.
She had time today.
She spilled tea. She told it how it is. she laid bare that she ain't come to play with y'all. She
Yeah, she had
came
time today.
to
Yeah.
really forge some change, and we are not mad about it. We need more bold people like her. Less cowardice, less corporate Dems, more say it like it is. And she had time today, and I'm thankful for her. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to talk with her. And like Crystal said, we're gonna do more of this because, honey,
Yeah.
we're amplifying
let
the
me-
voices that matter.
And let me tell you people something in the North who think that you're freer than the people in the South. Let me tell you something. Okay? Heed her words. Talk to Black people in the South. Talk to them. Don't diminish them for voting for someone. So instead of belittling people because of the outcome of a primary, ask questions. Be curious. Be curious. Don't belittle. Be curious. What is it? What are these people saying that they need? These people are not dumb. These people, Black people are probably the most sophisticated electorate there is. And that's just not exclusive to people in the North. Southern Black people have to make a lot of calculated decisions.
It's true. It's true. We fight for our lives down here. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Fighting for the country.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely. It all
the South
starts here.
has a strong, right. And because Republicans continuously win the South, they have way more power in Washington than they should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So she had time today.
And we
I had a
appreciate
little
it.
time too.
Yeah, we don't
Just
skip
wanted to-
past. We're moving past. Okay.
No.
All right.
That's
Follow us.
that's from the Southern section. Okay. But also remember what I said about taking the time.
Follow us.
It's important.
Friends.
Take care of yourself, people. Take care
On
of yourself.
Instagram at Dim Black Mamas Podcast.
Whenever you can.
And if you don't want to miss a moment of our magic, sign up for
If
our
you don't
recently
want to miss
revamped
the
newsletter.
magic, take the time.
The mothership. Sign up for the mothership. Okay. I don't know what she's talking about over there. Where a lot of amazing things happen on the mothership. Okay. All right. Including causes that we care about and that resonate within our community. Okay. What else, Crystal?
And don't forget to check out our website, dimblackmamas.com. Dim Black Mamas is a conversation, so our inbox is always open. Send us your thoughts about the show, show us some love, and ask us some questions at magic@dimblackmamas.com. Be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. Click it right here. Click it right here. Also, sign up for our newsletter because if we do have listener shows, we put it in there. First person to sign up. We don't always post that on social media as well. And whenever we have guests, whenever I can, I send something out to people on our email list to see if they have questions that they would like to ask our upcoming requests.
It all goes down on the mothership. All on the mothership. Got to get locked in. All right?
All right. Yes. Lock in. Lock in. Especially if you're at your tenant's house.
May your harvest. We're wrapping it up. Crystal.
Nikisha won't let me live. Okay.
May your harvest
be radical. That's all we got. We got no more. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.